betting the not so much anymore is more down to my own fault. I need to get studying again to get the edge back. But yeah, it's a great product. I love the exchange. It's really, in my opinion, one of the better bookmakers, if not the best bookmaker out there.
I'll be on to the sixth race. It's over 1,400 meters and merit rated 71 handicap. Races 6, 7, and 8 will be the last pick 3 on the card at Hollywoodbets Greyville, where we're on the poly track, and really nice to be back on this Monday. And hopefully things are going according to plan if you're listening into this preview, races 1 through to 5. Whatever perm you're taking, if you're following the numbers on Gallop TV, it's not costing that much, especially the pick 6, if you're going to take a chance and banker race number 3, where it could be a possible banker. It's Don't Stop Me Now. Or you went to the 4 horses there, but in the 6th race, I think here it's decision time, because there's form to recommend with a few runners. And there are runners that could be off the right mark to possibly be competitive, even though they're carrying big weights. Now, Parmenion, guard pull as well. I'm just going to give quick comments here, Ryle, on 4 horses, and then maybe you can just sum it up. Number 1, Parmenion. Well, his first one back from gelding was an inspiring run behind Son of Silk. On that run, he cannot be discounted, and showing that the gelding has certainly helped him improve to his form prior to that. Number 2, High Velocity. Well, full marks to both the stable and the apprentice, the way they got this horse going. And Sipasiste Stengwa seems to have developed a really nice partnership with him. And the way he races, well, he'll give you a heartache, the position that he comes from. But never say die. He always seems to find a good finish. He's the stable companion to Parmenion. And I think the pick 6 that I'll be taking, both runners will go in. And then we go on to number 9, Preemptive Strike, Dennis Dreyer's runner. We talk about relationships and partnership with horses. Well, since Rachel Vinegar has jumped on this individual, well, he's got some very encouraging form, and she claims the 1.5 kgs. And then the joker of the pack. I say joker of the pack because this is the most interesting runner in race number 6, William Rufus. And whilst he will not inspire you if you look at the positions he's run in Cape Town, well, look at the names: Runaway Song, Beyond the Boundary, Nevada King. And then look at the average ratings: 88, 74, 78. And this is an average rating of 71. Although he's having his first run on the poly track, and you don't know how he's going to take to the surface, I'm going to tip him first. For my selections, that is going to be my outright choice, because I just had a look at some of the names in the post-maiden run, and I think that type of form against this type of field, if he's anywhere near ready in KZN, he wins. I like him a lot.
I have to agree with you on that, Dees, because he does bring in strong form. Obviously, the form lines haven't worked out, but as you mentioned, the names that he has taken on and has been beaten by far superior to that of this field here. I think it's a race where you've got to go the field, because there's so many horses in with chances. You mentioned the Garth Puller pair, the Wendy Whitehead pair, Giambattista and Ragabaga, I don't think can be discounted. Gentleman's Way, course and distance suited. You can get closer to High Velocity, and then you mentioned number 8 and 9. So if we're going to discount numbers 5 and 6 from the race, it's a 7-horse field. I mean, you might as well just put the whole field in. Just add 2 more runners. You have a field of 9 then. I think Giambattista, given that he's drawn gate number 3, that's a huge advantage for this individual. He takes a specific type of ride, and hopefully Atendiwa and Mkutwa could get the best out of him. Ragabaga, I think he's a lot better than his last 2 outings. I think he could bounce back to some of his better form and get involved in the mix. He's at 5-1 in the market. I think he's a horse that will win his fair share of races for the yard. He was a 550,000 rand purchase as well, so I'm sure that the owners are hoping that he manages to produce something for them to be able to get some of that cash back. But I think you're on the right horse, number 8, William Rufus. He does bring in the Cape form. First run on the poly track, that's got to be the question mark from. But for the inform, Kike de Mello, Dean Caname yard, he's the most interesting run in the lineup. And as I mentioned, Parmenion, Giambattista, Ragabaga, these mentioned High Velocity, and their Gentleman's Way, all horses that have to be included into the mix. Would you take a stance and banker William Rufus in one perm and then in another perm go with a couple of other horses?
No, I wouldn't do that. I mean, I'm just saying that number 8, William Rufus, I'm hoping that he can translate that Cape form onto the poly track, and if he does just that on the competitiveness of the fields that he's been racing in Cape Town, I mean, this is far weaker than those races. Yes, he's still a one-time winner, and yes, he's unproven on the poly track, but just saying that he could be a very exciting horse if he takes to the surface. And we've often seen runners come down from Cape Town, from the Canamea stable down to KZN, and if they take to the poly track, they go on to be multiple winners, and this could be one of them. So it's either going to be 1, 2, 8, and 9, or as Ryle suggested, there could be runners that could spring up here, and that will be no surprise for Pick 6 play. So it's your play, but if I had to choose a roving banker in the race, I'm hoping that William Rufus does well here in KZN, especially on the surface, which is the poly track.
It's Donovan Everett from Cape Racing, and I'd just like to say it's an absolute pleasure to be involved with Intrabet and Cape Breeders in this golf day today here at Pearl Valley. It's fantastic for the industry to see all the relevant stakeholders coming down and having a good time and networking, and it's exactly what the industry needs right now in terms of moving forward and recreating some positivity to take us forward into the next year.